All right, so let's talk through some core AIT tools for IT support today. There are many, and it all depends on your organization on how they want to use it. There are organizations where they have customer data. If you look at a hospital, if you look at a place that is a government place, like a federal agency, they will want their data to be very secure, so they will never trust public facing chat GPT or AI tool that is out there, and you can basically put data that is confidential, right? So you shouldn't be doing that. A company is never going to allow you do that because that's not the right way. So that's why there are different AI tools that are out there, and they are built for enterprise. They are built for organizations so that it can provide them confidentiality, which is very important. And that's why the very first one that we have here is it's Azure OpenAI. So Azure OpenAI is from Microsoft. If I make it easier for you, it is Microsoft's secure version of ChatGPT for companies. All right. So my company where I work, they don't allow ChatGPT because they don't trust it. So what they do instead is they use Azure OpenAI, which is basically the ChatGPT for your company. Your data is private. It is not accessible in public, and you're able to use it that way. In some of my other courses, I will be creating Azure OpenAI course, so make sure you check it out. So, daily example, if I give you for Azure OpenAI is employee is asking a question in plain English, like how do I reset VPN? And it basically goes and searches and get the answer from the company documents. So whatever documents you have in your company on how to reset VPN, it's going to return that answer to them. So, one example I can give you is like a bank is basically letting their users finding quickly the IT policies that they have. So that's just one example that I can give you for Azure OpenAI. And if you are looking to learn more about Azure OpenAI, simply go into azure.microsoft.com or go to Google and type Azure OpenAI, and it's going to bring up this page for you where you will be able to basically look for what it is actually, and you can also see the use cases in here. So how it is basically being used today. You're able to automate customer support summaries, conversation. This is a big thing for organizations because if they are doing a lot of conversations, like you're a customer support agent, you have a lot of conversations and you need to summarize that in order to find the issue as soon as you can. You can do content generation, like make pictures like you can do in ChatGPT, right? You can do workflow automation and so on. And the big thing is security. Like I was telling you, you can basically look at the security and compliance and make sure it is what you need. So this is Azure API, OpenAI. The other one is ServiceNow AI and Zendesk AI. These are just two ticketing systems example I have here. Today we have too many AI ticketing system now. They are integrating AI with their tool because they have to compete, right? So it is a smart help desk tool that read and sort support tickets. For example, the daily use is like my laptop is not starting. AI basically puts it in the right category, gives it priority, and even drafts a first reply for you, right? So the IT help desk, IT support professionals don't have to do all those things manually. So for another example I can give you is like university IT team is using it to auto route the student Wi-Fi issues to the right team, which is saving time. I remember that in past days we had to hire a person to do full-time job to do the routing of the ticket and triaging that. So that was a big challenge. And then we have Microsoft Copilot, which I'm going to go through in our lab. And you can see that it is built in with your Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, and Teams so that you are basically able to write meeting notes, you're able to create reports, or you are able to create slides, summarize your emails, and so on. So for example, if your manager asks you, hey, can you summarize yesterday's meeting? And what's going to happen is with the help of Copilot, you're able to generate clear notes with action items. That is so cool, right? And then we have GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot is for programmers, developers. So it's a AI for coding that will suggest you scripts or commands. Once you start automation, if you are working on DevOps, if you are basically working on infrastructure as a service, like automating your infrastructure, or you want to automate, you basically use that for that reason. For example, there is an IT person that types a comment like a script to get disk usage, and Copilot writes the PowerShell or Bash code for it. We are going to see that as well. And then another example for GitHub Copilot is a support engineer uses it to quickly build the scripts that checks which computers needs update. This actually saved me a lot of time creating PowerShell scripts. I've done that so many times with the generative AI. I am able to create reports in Azure or any system that you're using, like if you're using Windows Server, Azure Cloud, Office 365. In past days, you had to go Google search and go through a lot of errors, but this is amazing, and we are going to see that. So AI search is another one. It is basically Azure AI search or Elastic AI. It's a smart search engine for the company data. So a lot of companies, like I was telling you, they have terabyte, petabyte of data in their file server in OneDrive or SharePoint or basically Azure files. It's a storage, like they're putting it in a storage area network kind of thing, right? So if you have data that is like 20, 30, 40 years old, how are you going to find a data like that's 30 years old? With the AI search tool, you can easily find it. For example, the daily uses, like you type a question, show me a step to install VPN, right? I'm focusing this towards more IT support, but other departments also use them, like the document management system or a lot of other departments basically. So show me steps to install VPN, and it finds the right document. And for example, another example is a nurse in a hospital search like patient IT guides in plain language, right? Instead of clicking the menu. So those are the things that you can do as the IT support with the AI tools today. That is awesome. I love it. And I'm sure you're loving it too, because we are going to start our labs and you will get more excited.